Yeah, good morning. July 1st, 2019. And although I was not planning on it, I got some very good information from RV with Tito, do it yourself, DIY, about how to install flexible solar panels without drilling into your roof. So yesterday, Oma and I scrambled to get all the material. We're not doing it exactly like Brian did, but he gave me some good information to apply this to my install. So for beginners, here's my solar panel. I'm going to look at the screen here and try not to put too big of a shadow. So here's the solar panel. It's about 5 foot by a little over about 27 inches, I think it is. So how do you hold something like this down on your roof without screwing it in? Well, one thing is you'll notice I don't have any eyelets. Okay. And one thing I had planned before I even talked to Brian was to put this polycarbonate board underneath it because it's breathable. Okay. And let's see. Well, I guess it's breathable the long ways. That's one thing I didn't notice when I cut it, but that's okay. As long as it's breathable, it will be breathable. Anyway, these are transition pieces that I cut down to size. They're going to fit right over the edge of this. And then I'm going to drill some holes in that. I'm going to use 4 of these. One in the top, one in the bottom, and one on each side. So let me see. Let me find my transition piece that I started already, which was already laying here. So what you see here is, I gotta turn this back on again. What you see here, so I can see through the viewfinder, is an elevator bolt drilled through the narrow part of that step. Try not to put too much of a shine here. Let me grab this here and walk over to the shade a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. Okay. So that's an elevator bolt cut down or with a wing nut and a lock nut. Now, here's where the problem was. I have to be able to put that elevator bolt all the way through that metal because the only thing that's going to be between it and this bracket I'm making, this hold down bar, is some Durabond. And Durabond isn't very thick. So what happened is when I had the bolt over here, I had this, you know what? Let me pause this a second. Okay, I'm back. So I took that bolt out there. Now you see how much of a gap I have between the elevator bolt and the bracket? Well, I don't have nothing to fill that. And if I do try to put something in there to fill that, this bracket isn't going to do its job, which is to hold down the solar panel. So here's my solution. I am going to make the hole bigger so the square portion does come up through the hole like I had it, excuse me, okay, like this. Okay, you guys see that? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some PVC. See how wide that is? PVC pipe. I know some of you have already thought ahead of what I'm going to do with this. This is, what size is this? This is, I think it's 1/2 inch, 180 PSI. So it's the thicker stuff. I don't know what schedule it is. Maybe you guys are catching it. I'm not. Nope, I'm not getting a, anyway, what I do know is that it fits on the end of this very nicely, right over that square portion. If I cut off some 1/2 inch sections the lock washer won't go inside, and I can continue using the nut here. Now, some people say, well, maybe you better put a flat washer on there. I don't really think I'm going to have to do that. So let me start building these. I have 8 of them to build, and right before I install them, I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, here's what I got so far. Like I was trying to explain to you in the last video, I'm making these little support brackets. I'm making 4 of these. As you can see, my spacers are working out great. They're going to add strength to that aluminum. I've taken a piece of Durabond. I've mounted it around the elevator bolts. And now, when I put this together, like you just saw it a minute ago, and I can't do it with one hand, that is going to fit right on that groove there and keep that from bouncing up in the air. I'm going to have 4 of these per panel. As you can see, I got a little channel going there. So, okay, just want to give you a quick peek. These are going to be my mounting brackets. Are they going to work? Well, good thing I'm only mounting 2 panels before my little vacation. Give me a chance to make sure that they do work. I don't think it's going to be bad. I think with 4 of those on there holding that panel down, even if it got a little bit of wind under it, it's not going to come up at all with these 2 in the middle, preventing it from lifting, with 1 on each end and 1 on each side. I think we got something going here. We'll sure find out here soon enough. All right, well, if you can hear me, I got 4 of my panels installed. Ran the wires. That's right above my hutch. My son has brought up a leaf blower because he doesn't believe this is going to hold. So I'm going to let him run a test. So go ahead, run your test. He thinks that air will get underneath and lift on it. So he's going to blow over here on these open ends here. Go down there. All I get is your feet. Okay, well, what you've proved is if I had these mounted sideways, they'd be flapping in the wind. That's all you've proved. Because if you think about it, when I'm going down the road, the wind is going to be blowing head on to these. I don't believe they're going to be flapping around like that. But they definitely didn't come uncradled, did they?
No, but this one flapped more than that one.
Yeah, I did. I saw that. Okay. The only thing I could say is we could add a couple more brackets a little bit farther down in the same method that we installed these. We're going to do a 100-mile trip on Wednesday. I'll climb up here and see what everything looks like when we get down to Winchester. But so any of you that are watching my wires here, you'll see I actually ended up putting it in series. And the reason for that is I didn't have no more cabling to do it in parallel. They gave me the connectors, but they didn't give me any wires to do the short connections. So 38 volts during the day is how many volts we had. Use some of that Durabond to get the cables tied down. Also, I used Gorilla Tape to hold the box down, and then I went ahead and sealed it with the sealant, the self-leveling stuff. So the next box should come in right about here where my foot is, right about here, and I'm going to put both panels right down on this side of the air conditioner. This way now I don't have everything all the way on one side. I got two on that side. I can walk down, I can cross over, and then I have two on this side. So anyway, not much of a charge. I didn't get this done till late. In fact, I'm just coming back from having dinner. We'll see what your comments are about that fluttering that the panel's doing. Remember, he's using a leaf blower directly into the side of it. I do not believe that thing's going to flutter like that when we're going down the road. I guess the only way to really tell is if I could somehow mount a GoPro or something up here so we could watch it. But I don't know how we're going to do that. At the very least, there's no way for them panels to shift out of the brackets that are holding it in place. Okay, that's it. Let's go get this edited and get it online. Bye.